this Diwali, I'm going to tell you all about the arts and crafts that our erstwhile royals of our country have been promoting. It's an exciting time where you're going to be knowing about fancy jewelry and a lot of interesting textiles, apart from a lot of other things. I'm with Namrata Singh from Jaipur, and she runs a brand for fine jewelry, and Namrata is going to be telling us what's special, what has been incorporated from the traditional and suited to today's contemporary taste.
Okay, so my jewelry is for women who are multitasking.
Okay.
You know,
which most of us are these days.
Yes. So it's an amalgamation of contemporary and vintage design.
Okay. So what I'm noticing is that despite being large pieces, they're still very light on the eye.
They are.
Delicate. They're so dainty, you know. What's so special about this piece?
This was inspired by the Chinese temples. So jade and turquoise are very favorites of Chinese. You know, they've used it since ancient art and all. So I have used jade with turquoise and lemon quartz. So,
and it has the pagoda tops as well?
Yes.
Okay. Who would think of Chinese pagodas in a piece of earring?
Yeah.
Coming from a designer who belongs to a royal family in Jaipur. If we can capture the detailing on this piece, because this is work that is done on white
chalcedony.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a semi-precious stone with onyx.
I've never seen corn on jewelry. How did this come about?
I think I'm very affected by the plight of farmers.
Wow!
So
that is making a strong statement. Wow!
Yeah.
So this is a woman of today making a strong statement on coming from great social
we must
as well.
Respect our farmers.
I love where the influences are coming from as far as your thought process. So these are influences not just traditional and contemporary lines and patterns. It's also coming from a lot of social consciousness. You've talked about the rights of the farmers, the rights of the craftsmen. Rohini Singh from Kachi Baroda, which is near Indore, is going to tell us about her specially designed chiffon saris and the work that is incorporated into it. It's called Just Chiffon.
Yes. Mainly only into chiffon saris because it's very difficult to find actually like hand embroidered chiffon saris in the market.
Why is that? Is that because of the nature of the fabric?
Yes, it is because it's such a light material to work on.
Right.
The work will only stay if the material is pure and the workmanship is good. So we need to find karigars who have done this before or who have been doing this since generations.
Is that because it's a very fine cloth that gets stretched with thread work?
Yeah, and it is this like this, it's cut work. So entire work is done and then each hole has to be burned by a matchstick. So it takes a lot of hours. Like
hours, and it's a huge risk. Can you believe this? Okay, let's show this up to our people here. And what you see here is cut work chiffon, and it's been embroidered upon with gold thread first and then burnt with matchsticks so that the fabric in the center here disappears, and this is how you get this jali work. Oh my god,
and it's on the same cloth. People usually just patch it.
Okay. With another fabric. Oh, so this is a piece of a master craftsman who's done this, because this is like taking a risk for 7 meters.
Yeah,
9 meters. Oh my goodness.
And it usually takes almost a month to finish one sari.
Okay.
So that's why this is one of our very few very fine pieces, and cut work is like a forte.
Something like this, which is again very fine thread work, if you see
and this we've incorporated a little badla into it. Usually badla you see all over, and it's just badla, not with embroidery. So we've done jardosi and badla and sequins together.
Let's look at the piece you're wearing, Rohini, because I can't imagine something so fine. These are two fabrics that we're looking at.
So this is net and this is chiffon.
Okay.
So you applique the net into the chiffon, but the flowers and the leaves on the net is chiffon. So again, it's cut work and applique.
And it is seamlessly moving from one fabric to another, and it's like a camouflage.
Yeah.
You just can't say.
One of my favorites from my grandmother's closet, which has got it redone and into a different fabric. So this is again inspired by vintage, old world charm, classic.
here with me is a piece of pure metal. This is woven silver thread, gold plated, and Gitanjali Shah, who's from Tehri Garhwal in Uttarakhand, is going to tell me how she's reviving this old art of silver thread handloom weaving and motifs, as you said as well.
Yes, yes. So, what we wanted to do is recreate a lot of the old designs which you don't get in the market, and also protect handloom weaving.
Okay.
And we have a very small unit, just 6 looms, and what we try to do is give the weavers a dignified way of life. So we stay at our place, we have our own rooms.
Okay.
And we try to weave in the old way with the pure threads and pure silver, so which is what gives it its softness.
Okay. And is it very, I mean, like they say, tar bahut patla, is it very delicate?
It is.
So this Diwali, what are people asking for?
Okay, so this Diwali we've done varak ka kaam.
Varak. Okay, let's understand that better. What is varak?
Simply put, when you have mithai with silver foil on top of the mithai. So this work is done with the silver foil.
Okay, so this is gold varak or silver varak?
This is silver.
Okay.
You have gold as well. So the base is a paste, organic paste made of mud.
Which is like a glue.
Yeah, like a glue.
Right.
Which is stamped onto the sari or the fabric. And then the silver sheets are placed on top of that block.
Yeah.
And then you have a special baler with seashell to polish. Yes, on one side with which it gets polished. So the silver sort of sinks into the paste.
Okay.
And then you really have to polish it through,
Well, we've all heard of royal baths and royal massages, but Rupal Tyagi from Nehtor in Uttar Pradesh is going to tell us how this lifestyle of taking in royal baths, royal massages has helped you create Vikka, an aromatherapy brand that she started.
It's a tradition in our house in Nehtor that generally women, when they have their first child, they go to the hills to stay all during their pregnancy to get fresh air and being close to nature, which ultimately will let them have beautiful babies also. So I was in Delhi, we are in Delhi generally, but then during my first baby I went and stayed at Nehtor. And that was the time when I was given oil baths and oil massages with beautiful herbal infusions.
And this was all natural?
All natural.
Picked from the farm?
All the ingredients picked from our own farms, put in the oils, and the oils were shown sun for a certain number of days.
Wow.
And that oil used to be given to me for massages. Actually, I never experienced any bout of allergy during my pregnancy, and that was very surprising for me.
Was it because of the healing qualities?
I was not aware of the healing qualities at that time, and that gave me an insight to actually start reading about why this was happening.
What is that one ingredient which is going to help us have a safe Diwali in terms of fighting the smog by the crackers?
So what I suggest generally to my clients and my people visiting my studio, that why don't you just have a eucalyptus around your room, eucalyptus around your bed while sleeping, add some rosemary to it, and if you've got a running nose, nothing can help you better than geranium oil.
Inspired by the wildlife around her and turning it into acrylic and oil pieces on canvas and offering it to the world. That is what Bharati Singh's art is all about. She's from Sahanpur in Uttar Pradesh, and this is what she's seen when she married early into her husband's family.
Right.
Tell us about your journey.
Well, once I got married into this family, I was interested in art always, but I was exposed to wildlife around me. And the family interest was going into the forest and spending hours there. And I started playing with the forms, and of course my career, I would say, started with emotional and direct interaction with the wildlife.
Okay.
Tiger has always been my favorite among all that.
What are you reviving of your family or memories that you're bringing to people through these canvas works, or perhaps making a statement on tiger conservation as well?
Right, you know, it's just not a representation of an animal as seen in wild.
Yes.
I try and put my philosophy and thought in it. Like in this series, what you see is my Shakti series, and here I take Shakti as energy who takes different forms according to requirement of the time. She can be as gentle as Parvati, Saraswati, Lakshmi, and when time needs, she can be Kali and Durga as well.
Right.
So that's what the masks symbolize in my work.
This is also going through the entire festive season. We're celebrating the power and strength of each goddess till it culminates
Right,
in Diwali.
and as in the Diwali's context, she's Lakshmi now.
Yes.
So it's the same energy.
Hang on there, there's still a lot more exciting things to show you. Stay with us. Thanks for staying on. Let's continue with our journey on finding what's buzzing in the arts and crafts scene from across the country this Diwali. Shraddha Nigam here from Kolhapur in Maharashtra, who's picked up the skill from her artisans in Kolhapur and also from her own family. Your grandmother, you said, has done a lot of this embroidery, and where you've picked it up from?
I learned it from my grandmom, and I remember as a kid, you know, in our summer holidays, we used to sit with our grandmoms. She used to give us the anchor threads, if you've heard of, and then we used to start we used to make small patterns of embroidery.
Are these stretched canvas that you can hang on your wall? What really is the purpose of this?
No, if you can see the whole thing, these are lehenga panels.
Like this is
one panel,
one pleat, so to say.
Yes. So this is a 14-piece lehenga, and it's a marriage procession. Now, if you join this together, if you stitch it and join this, it will come out as a lehenga.
This, of course, is the job of the artisans, the thread work, the dabka ka kaam, but the sketch.
That is what I do it myself.
All right. 1.5, 2 months for one panel, which means 14 panels. 2 years?
Yes.
2 years to make one lehenga.
Yes, because look at the art. I mean, these baratis, these creatures are made separately. And then they're appliqued. You can see it's raised. You know, this is raised from here. So it's made on a separate frame. And then we do a applique on this.
Let's also look at the blouse that you've made. Okay, so this is this is cute. This is a sewing machine. This is dedicated to
my work.
What is so important for embroidery and making fabrics, making dresses. A sewing machine, and again applique, dabka ka kaam, resham thread with some floral patterns here. So this is for a blouse sleeve, scissor and spools. This is so cute. How many people today can call themselves confidently a revivalist as a professional term? I'm with Alka Rani Singh of Pratapgarh in Uttar Pradesh, and this is what she's been doing. Let's look at this first piece. This, as you said, is hand painted.
Yes, it
and
is.
I was asking you, what are you reviving with this?
You know, as you can see, this is of course more on the geometric side, but of course hand painted with French paints and then embellished with these sitaras.
And the colors that you
And the colors are basically, I have taken my inspiration from the kite paper colors, which were always very, very fascinating to me since the time I grew up, because kite flying is a very, very important part in UP.
Yes, as you said, you're also reviving Mukesh work. Now, as
Colored
a lot of colored Kamdani, there are a lot of us who are familiar with Mukesh work. Nowadays, of course, are mostly used to looking at it as just silver
and gold,
or just gold. But this is colored. These metal pieces of tiny bits of metal that you see on the fabric, which is known as Mukesh. This is actually colored, which means the metal is colored. And down the years, as you said, this has come down, and you're trying to revive
it. It has lost its little luster. So I really worked hard to get it little bit and more of a contemporary uptake, because earlier they used to be very, very elaborate, but now it's a tedious process. So you have to do it, reduce it to a more limited,
restricted
area.
And this, now this is what people, women of few generations ago would use these pouches for their pan and elaichi and their tiny silver boxes. So what are we using these for today? This Diwali, what are we using them for?
This is for the modern day young woman who can keep her mobile, she can keep her lipstick, she can keep her kajal, she can keep anything and just go on.
Sling it around.
Yeah.
And now we are with Pushpita Singh from Kharwa, which is in Rajasthan, and Diwali is all about Shringar as well. So we're going to be talking about some exciting jewelry. Let's get to the first piece on what is really on offer this Diwali and what do you think is clicking this Diwali?
You know, a lot of people still go by wearing a lot of traditional pieces. So my Chand Balis and my Karn Phool, you know, they are, you know, everybody wants to wear traditional Indian wear.
Right. Do you call this Kundan or Jarao? There's still confusion on that.
See, the Kundan is actually literally Kundan means pure gold.
Yes.
So this is Jarao and Kundan is the pure gold which is encrusted with it, and there's Meenakari at the back.
Oh, okay.
See, this technique came from the Middle East when the Mughals and when Islam came to India.
Right.
This technique came to India, maybe in the 10th, 11th century. What I've also done is, the bigger sets become very bridal wear.
Yes.
So, what I have done is, this Victorian, which is, the base is silver. It's also an ancient craft.
And where is this influence coming from in your design?
This is very British, very Raj.
And how do you get that in
very
your
Raj.
palette?
Yeah.
How do you get that in your design
when you want to minimize a bit of the cost and make it look contemporary.
Okay.
Because with yellow gold, youngsters are not wanting to wear yellow gold today. So this this craft is also traditional. And it's very Raj, very Victorian. It's called Victorian jewelry.
Okay.
It is.
So, but this is still again encrusted with stone?
With stones, with polki, rubies and diamonds. So, India is a home for all precious, hand-cut precious stones. I'm with Jaikriti Singh from Baria in Gujarat, and Jaikriti has some great fabrics, once again incorporating the traditional with the contemporary. Yes. Let's start with the velvet works and what's special about these?
See, I've tried to give some texture to the garments, and then they are embroidered with sequins and salma, which is a very typical of Rajasthan, since I'm doing everything in Rajasthan. So this salma is typical of Rajasthan, and then the sequins is quite contemporary.
This is what I love about what our erstwhile royals like you are doing, because it's not just about reviving a certain kind of art, it's also taking care of a whole new generation of craftsmen.
Yes.
Because they felt that this work is out of date.
Yes,
and it affects their livelihood as well.
True, and they like the, as I said, contemporary twist to it, and they're quite excited to make something new from the age-old designs and all.
Now this is a pattern that I've seen before. Where is it coming from?
This is from old jalis, what we have in Rajasthan and everywhere, the cement and the marble jalis what you have. So I have done that on with gota patti. This is like charkhi gota, this is the gota band. Okay. And then that's embroidered on the chiffon.
Jaikriti, what are people looking at this Diwali from you? Or what do you feel is going to be in range from your range? What is exactly going to be in range this Diwali?
Actually, I think I'm doing a lot of not very opulent garments, but very basic, simple, and maybe ombre dyed like this one, and with little gota work and a lot of tassels and all.
Ombre dyed, of course, is gradation of
two different colors.
Right.
It could be single color.
I love this. You've combined this with the gota patti here.
Looks quite nice, and this is quite a western dip hem silhouette with
and this combination of a traditional gota patti motif makes it look very fresh.
Yes.
It's a fresh piece. And this is yours as well, what you're wearing?
Yes. This is again like a blouse.
And this is a gorgeous motif.
Yes.
And you've teamed this up with a sari. Otherwise, this is a top that you can wear on trousers. But you're using this as a blouse.
Yeah.
And gorgeous sequence work. This is all floral sequence work and twisted wire?
Yes.
All right.
There are a lot of embroidery.
And the border of your sari?
This is again a Pitton old. It's a very old craft again.
Pittan work, okay.
This is again
Pito, you beat the thread, so it's pittan work.
Yeah,
and this is ombre again. This is again a very gentle gradation of different shades of pink. I can see 3 different shades, but the magic in this being that you can't say the lines differentiating each of the 3 shades. And this once again is the work of a very skilled dyer. So even dyeing cloth requires skill. It's not just about dipping a fabric into color.
True.
It requires a method and a skill as well. What has now become part of healthy living is getting used to and finding fabrics that are organic. So organic cotton is making a comeback, and organic cotton with traditional wear, traditional style is making a comeback as well. And Kamini Singh from Seora from Uttar Pradesh is one such person who's doing that. Let's talk about this first piece and all that's gone behind making this. One, starting right from the fields to ensure it's organic.
Yes.
And then reaching the artisan.
Yes.
And then making sure that you're keeping up with some traditional designs as well.
Absolutely. So the thing is, idea of organic cotton came to me when I was doing yoga wear for US market.
Okay.
And the fall of the fabric and being so healthy to wear was something which was not taken that seriously in India. So
cotton not exactly known for its fall unless it's starched, right?
So this is now without starch. This is crushed. You don't even have to iron it.
Okay, all right.
I had to make it easy because I'm already working with the European market where they don't like starch. Organic cotton is now we are getting back the vintage. So organic concept was totally not there, you know. It's recently developing in like your health food, health wear, all that. People are very conscious now.
Okay. And wearing cotton for weddings, I think a few years ago was completely unheard of. Not fashionable. Cotton, wedding, what are you talking about?
So idea was to bring cotton up because see, 9 months of the year, even we used to feel hot. Our ancestors used to feel hot.
Right.
They couldn't be only wearing silks and other fabrics.
Brocades, right.
Yeah. So they used to be also wearing cottons, but with a nice old style embroideries. It used to be like Zardozi with pearl work and all, Gota work. Now this is all in Gota. Now this is a very 3D new concept.
Okay.
So the style is very old with the sharara and a kurti, but the embroidery and the lotuses are done in a newer form of embroidery.
Anshu Khanna from Royal Fable is someone who's helped them put this all together on one single platform, give them big city clients. So Anshu, what's been the buzz this Diwali then?
I think it's royalty, it's the flavor of the season.
What is that extra edge in their line of products that they're getting on board?
Everything that you see is actually the continuation of a culture called Palace Karkhana. So they all have studios.
Okay.
And they actually go and seek out the local craftsmen, patronize them, and then develop something. If you look at it, it's all linked to their own region. So they're not doing anything unique. So they're doing something, they're just adding their level of finesse to the craft.
So I guess it's not just about looking at where this craft is coming from, where this art, where this product, where this piece of jewelry is coming from. It's also about supporting. It's supporting small town artisans, handloom weavers and craftsmen, and that should be something that we should be doing this Diwali as well. Have a great Diwali.